Hello and welcome to Monkeys with Fire. You join me tonight for another Tabletop Gaming Live, and this evening we'll be playing the 2 to 4 player board game Infinity Defiance from Corvus Belli. If you're brand new to the channel, click the heart to follow the Twitch stream weeknights Monday, Wednesday and Friday from 7 PM. Also, be sure to subscribe and tap the bell icon to receive notifications from YouTube for the latest videos and updates. And now, on with the show. And here we go then, we have the game all set out in front of us. We're going to be playing the demo mission that Corvus Belli have been showing at the various shows this year prior to the Kickstarter. The game is still available on Kickstarter for the next couple of days at the time of recording. So let's get started. I guess the first thing to do is describe the mission. The rescue of Valkyrie. In a military installation somewhere in the human sphere, a chain of explosions echoes intimidatingly throughout the structure. The emergency channels are activated immediately, filling the tactical comm logs with red alerts.
Installation under attack. All security personnel report to the agreed checkpoints.
A nearby explosion cuts your hurried race to the checkpoint of 012. Your comm logs receive a notification of the highest priority. Servio Ghosteen fills your screen displays with his usual tense film.
Hostile Shavasi troops are taking the facility by assault. Several modules have been isolated and some VIPs cannot reach their transports. One of them is Elite Bodyguard Valkyrie, a high-value target asset. Our Stalker shuttle is docked in the cargo bay with the flight crew on board. Your orders are to locate Elite Bodyguard Valkyrie, embark with her on the Stalker, and get out full throttle.
So there we go. That is the mission briefing. In summary, we need to extract Elite Bodyguard Valkyrie by embarking her in the Stalker. The Stalker being our dropship to the Defiance, to which you can see just here on the board. Here is Valkyrie locked behind this security door. This is our group of heroes. What we need to do is activate this console to release these docking clamps and open up this door, and then proceed to the Stalker and make our way out of here. But of course we've got enemy troops already in the base. We've got to get past them. We've got to be mindful that our pilot is under guard by these two Nox leaders, and should we open this door before we have eliminated them, they will kill her. So we've got to time our actions quite carefully. So if you've played another of Corvus Belli's games, that being Aristia, then many of the rules will be very, very familiar to you, and certainly the dice will, and how you're able to use dice results to give you special abilities depending on your character and depending on the weapons that they actually have. And I'll go through that as we actually play. We've got one of the heroes set out in front here. This is Caden First Strike, who is a melee fighter. He's good with his two blades, his rippers. He's wearing medium armor. He has a frenzy ability. So immediately after you inflict any number of damage points during a combat roll, you may then move to one adjacent free space. So he's obviously a character who likes to get into the middle of all the action, but he's a bit dumb. He cannot perform nor be the target of any hacking action. So he's all brute and teeth and mouth, but no brains at all. What we need to do is, first of all, set out the AI decks for the active enemies in the game. The way that the game plays is that it has an enemy AI card per enemy unit, and this tells you how that unit is going to react. These are randomly chosen, so you'll never quite know what they're going to do, and also the order that the enemies activate is random. The turn sequence is that it is the heroes, then the enemy, until everyone has had a go. During your hero activation, you're able to do 2 actions, and these are the obvious things that you would expect from a game like this. So basically you can move, you can attack, you can hack, you can equip, and you can interact. Now, for example, if you were to move, you could interrupt your movement by firing, and then once your firing has finished, you could then continue your movement. Line of sight is from corner to corner, and of course there are certain obstacles that will get in the way. If you can't draw a straight line from your corner to the enemy's corner on the hex, then of course their sight is blocked. Whenever you draw blood as a character within the game, you will get 1 aggro point. Each character has a certain level that they can go up to. Should you go past your character's level, then any additional points turn into reinforcement points for the enemy. At the end of a round, if the total number of aggro for the entire group is greater than 8, that increases the alert level within the game. Ultimately, we're starting off with the enemies at a blue level, but if we get them all the way up to level 5, that's maximum alert, they turn to a red level. This then means that they have different orders, and potentially they are much harder to kill. So we've got to manage our aggro level as we're playing. Alright, let's jump on in. So it is a cooperative game, up to 4 players playing the heroes. We could decide amongst ourselves as to whom wants to go first, but I think it makes good sense that I hope I say his name, Quang Gao, this guy just here with the he's got sporting a heavy shotgun and heavy armor. He's a bit of a tank character. He's stood right next to an ammo crate. What he's able to do is interact with that ammo crate and then pass out the ammo to any character who is directly adjacent to him. So in effect, he could give ammo to Caden First Strike, who is just here, and this character here is Uma Sorensen. So I think that's what we'll do, is we'll open up the ammo crate and see what's there. So what do I have? I have a flash grenade. I have DA ammunition. And I have a normal grenade. So we've not done too badly. Well, let's give Caden the grenade, because I'm sure he'll be good with that. We will give Quang Gao the ammunition. And we're going to give Uma the flash grenade. Now I've got one other action that I can do, and I think it would make sense for me to do some form of movement. And since he's a bit of a tank, I think we should just get him in there, get him into the action. So he is facing off against the Nox Special Ops. And they come as a team of 2. So that would be that player's turn. It then goes to the enemies. So what we do is we draw a card from the enemy deck to find out which units are going to activate. Turn it over. And indeed it is the Spec Ops. Oh no. So what we do then is we take the Spec Ops AI card and we take a look, and hopefully you can see that there are a series of symbols on the blue side. The blue side is what we're interested in at this moment because the security level hasn't risen to red alert. And it's pretty straightforward once you start playing it a few times. You probably won't even need to look at the manual. So taking a look, we have assault and then most aggro. So straight away, we know that their very first action is going to have them moving, They are moving to the person with most aggro. None of the heroes have drawn any blood yet, so there is no aggro on the board. They would just move up to the nearest person. The next command for them is to attack the person who is in least distance. And of course, that now is our friend Quang Go. So let's do some combat rolls. So here we go. We have our Spec Ops. They are using a combi rifle, which has a range of 1 to 8. Where the actual character is standing is range 0. Then the next space is 1. So they are in range. They get to roll 2 yellow dice and have an automatic success already. They're rolling against my defense. My defense for this character is a blue, but he's also wearing heavy armor, which adds 2 black to the roll. He also has a special ability called Defensiveness. Once per defense roll, you may re-roll any die that rolled a blank face. So we roll up all the dice. Let's see what we do. So these are no successes. These are switches. And because this particular weapon doesn't take any advantage of a switch, I'm not going to be explaining that just yet. We will come to it. I've rolled 2 defenses, which is great. But I don't have to worry about it because no attacks are coming in at me. But what I'm going to do is I can re-roll one of my dice. I'm going to re-roll this blue one and see if I get something advantageous to me. So let's see. It started already, the very first roll of the game. So basically, the first Nox has fired and completely missed. No damage whatsoever. We then roll for the second Nox. This is a bit more interesting. Here we go. That token represents the automatic success. They've just fired their combi rifle. Quangao has just defended, but I'm able to re-roll one of my blank dice. So let's get that done straight away. Get another shield. All right. So how do things work out? The Nox have got 2 critical hits against us. So what we do is we look at the hits and then we see what defense we can have against. So there's 2 hits, there's 2 defense. In other words, no hits go through. In fact, we've got an abundance of defense here. And we've got a switch, but that doesn't do anything for us. They have got switches, but that does nothing for them either. So yet again, Quangao is absolutely fine. He's deflected all of the shots. So it is back over to the heroes now. We've got Caden First Strike. We have Uma Sorensen. And then in the back here is Jasmine Jazz the Hacker. So Evan's saying First Strike should probably move in and bash. Yes. Well, First Strike has a move of 6. So what do you suggest then, Evan? Where should he go? So probably into the Nox. Okay, so we got the Nox here. These are the Nox leader, and these are the Cadmus. Let's see what happens. So he's done his movement. He can now do his attack. And he is wielding 2 blades. He has an orange and he has a yellow, and he does have an automatic hit. He is going to be up against the Spec Ops, and the Spec Ops have a defense of a black and a yellow. So they've got quite tough armor. See what we get. Here's me with my lousy dice rolls. Oh, all right. So what have we got? So he's obviously attacking this guy here. That shield nullifies that successful hit. And that being the case, Caden First Strike is still yet to strike. we now see which unit activates. And it is the Cadmus. So first of all, it's moving up to Quang Gao. Their next action, it is to attack the person within the closest distance, which of course is Quang Gao. They are going to attack with a combi rifle. They have an orange and a yellow and an automatic switch. Interestingly, for every 2 switches that they roll, add a hit. They have 1 hit. They have 2 switches, so that's a second hit. But he has 3 defense. So first guy, unsuccessful. Let's roll for the second. I can re-roll this black dice because it's a blank face. I don't think, yeah, no good. So what we got here, we have 2 switches, so that is a hit, plus another hit, so that's 2 hits. But our guy has 3 defense, no hits come through. All good. Back over to the heroes. Evan, who do you want to move? You have Uma Sorensen, who is kind of the scout of the game. And then we have Jasmine, Jazz the hacker. We want to hit a Cadmus with a hack. Alright then. Indeed, you can hit both of them, yes. So the Cadmus defense, they have a black die to defend against this attack. You're going to be rolling an orange and a yellow. Shall we give this a go? So shall we attack this first character just to make it easy? She doesn't even need to move. She can just stand where she is and do this attack from afar. So that's her first action. She's not done very good on that. Shall we do it again? Might as well. She doesn't need to move. We can use her second action to attack again. Again, the Cadmus's defense has blocked the attack. That being the case, nothing happens. Alright, so that's Jazz's turn. We then go to the enemy, and it is now the Nox leaders. The Nox leaders have a special rule. They cannot leave the confines of the Stalker dropship. They are always going to stay in the dropship. Let's see how Caden's armor fares now. So Caden has blue and black for his armor. The Nox leader, they have a combi rifle as well. They get 2 yellow with an automatic hit. So they have a hit, but we defend it. But in the same time, we hit them back. So we actually do 1 damage to people who are trying to kill us that are being quite unsuccessful. So the next guy has a go. They do get 2 switches. So now they are able to add an attack to the roll. They are able to hit Caden. Caden takes a damage. Caden has a health of 10. So he's got a long way to go. So Uma, she just needs to get on in here and do some damage, doesn't she? Is Uma going to be the hero of the first round? I think she might be. So she has got twin pistols. She's going to hit this Cadmus, I think. She's got a blue and an orange. She has the special ability that if she's equipped with 2 light weapons, she may add a success to their attack on each of the rolls. And she can also add a yellow dice. So that's great. We're up against the Cadmus. The Cadmus have a blue defensive dice. Not black, because black was for hacking. This is an ordinary ballistic attack. That being the case, we use their typical armor. They have a blue dice. So I will have to roll that separately. Let's roll her attack. You may add 1 success to your attack rolls for each blank face rolled on your dice. Oh, excellent. We got a blank roll, so we have a success. Let's take a look. We have 2 switches. 2 switches mean we have a success. Hey, it's working. It's working. That we have 2 attacks getting through. Because she has done an attack and it's been successful, she draws up an aggro token. She is the first character to get a bit of aggro in the game. Let's do it all again. So for every blank dice, I get an automatic hit. So there we go. 2 hits, 1 defense. So I lose that hit. That gets done. It's 1 hit goes through. So in essence, she's been the first successful character by far, yes. We are now on round 2, and we start with the heroes. So you're suggesting, Evan, we should lead with our sword guy, so with Caden First Strike. So you're going to do Caden in close combat. You might as well attack the special ops. Caden has 3 successes against 2 defense. So he does get 1 hit through. So rolling Caden's dice to start with and doing the spec ops defense. So then, Caden has 3 successful hits against no defense, but 1 successful hit is coming through against Caden, and Caden's got no defense. This guy is now dead. We have first blood. Now, because he's done a successful hit, he has the ability as Frenzy. Immediately after you inflict any number of damage during a combat roll, you may move to 1 adjacent free space. But we must remember that knocks special ops just before his demise. He did hit Caden, so Caden has taken another damage. So now we look at the enemy activation, and it is the Cadmus. And they're doing an assault against the nearest target. Is, of course, Quan Gao there. Let's roll the attack. First attack. Oh! So that is 2 hits. With the 2 switches is a 3rd hit. But this is the tank. The tank's here to absorb these type of hits, isn't he? Oh! The tank does have the ability that once per defense roll, you may re-roll any die that rolled a blank face. I'm going to re-roll the blue, because the blue actually might allow me to get a shot off at the same time. Nope, it doesn't. It gives me 2 defense, so 1 shot gets through. So it is now the 2nd attack. Gonna re-roll that blue one again. So he does take another hit. This guy moved, and now he's going to attack. Oh, well, that's a star and 1 switch. Again, he's got 1 defense, so let's see if this blue one yields us a hit. This could be really funny if it does. Yes, it does! So, I love it when something cinematic happens in a game. So this guy is shooting Quan Gao. Quan Gao's armor deflects the shots, which come right back at him, hits him for a damage, and kills him. So he's dead. Alright, so Cadmus has been done. It is now over to the heroes. Who do you want to send out into the fray? You want Uma to go up and take out a leader. The characters do have grenades, Amberden, but we kind of thought that maybe throwing grenades into our dropship might not be the best of ideas. So here we go. We're going to do some combat. Uma has just rushed up. She rolls an orange and a blue. She has a yellow because she's actually holding 2 light weapons. The Nox leaders have 2 points of health, but they do have 2 black dice as their defense. So let's roll and see what we get. So 2 black dice. The Nox leader has 1 defense, but it is up against a terrific assault. She's got 3 hits. She's got 2 switches, which adds an additional hit. That is 4 successful hits, pummeling this guy to oblivion. He is well and truly dead. If only we'd chosen the other guy. She gets an aggro. Uma is suddenly becoming the badass of the party. The Nox leader is going to go for an assault of the character who has the most aggro. Uma, who's just killed his buddy, has got an aggro of 2. Because he's got line of sight, he would just do 2 attacks now. So he's going to attack, then he's going to attack again, and then he's going to withdraw. Nox leader is attacking with a combi rifle. He has 2 yellow and an automatic success. He is firing against Uma. Uma, who has a blue defense plus 1 single black defense for her medium armor that she's wearing. Ooh. So 2 switches means it is a hit. She's got a hit, but that dice, we're going to have to roll that dice. Oh, still not good. All right, it is 2 hits onto Uma, 1 hit onto the Nox leader. We do it all again now. So 2 switches equals a success. So that's 2 hits against Uma. Uma's got 2 defense, so she's fine. But she's also doing a hit. That's another hit against the Nox leader. 2 hits. Even Uma's armor is attacking. In fact, the armor is doing more success than the actual guns are. So boom, he's dead. So we have cleared the dropship of the enemy, which is great. So we have basically Jazz and Quango left. Who wants to move where? Evan, you're saying Jazz, knock out the Cadmus. She doesn't need to move, does she? She can just stay where she is and do it because it is a ranged attack. So the Cadmus have a black die. What's Jazz coming on in with? An orange and a yellow. And she's able to add another yellow. We got 1 hit, 1 defense. That nullifies that. So that has done nothing. All right, let's do it again. Right, no defense. No defense. We can re-roll this yellow. There we go. That's what we want. That is 4 successes with 4 switches. Inflict 2 damage instead of 1 for each attack not nullified. So that is actually a roll of 8. So the Cadmus is dead. So we got 2 reinforcement tokens. And Cadmus is all dead. Nox leaders are all dead. And so the Spec Ops are going to assault the closest unit to them. So they are going to attack the closest unit. And then they are going to focus onto the closest unit. Right, oh, this is interesting. 2 yellow. He has an automatic hit. He is against Quangao, who has a blue and 2 black. Ooh, well, that's kind of good for us. So Quan Gao can re-roll a dice. He's going to re-roll this to no effect. The Nox leader has a hit against Quan Gao. He has a defense. He's fine. Quan Gao has a hit against the Spec Ops. There is no defense. The Spec Ops takes damage off Quan Gao's armor. Second round, this is now where he uses the focused. And this means that he's really poised now taking this shot. And it allows him to add an extra yellow dice. So what do we have? We have 2 hits from the enemy coming on in. They are deflected by 2 defense. Quan Gao's armor is successfully doing 1 hit against the Nox Special Ops, but they have 1 defense. So it's a stalemate. Nobody does anything. And that only leaves then our mighty tank to deal out some damage. We haven't seen him in action yet. He has a heavy shotgun and he is 2 blue with an automatic success. And he is up against the Nox Special Op, which has a black and a yellow. So let's roll these and see what we get. So he's got 2 hits against the Spec Ops that has 1 defense. So 1 hit gets through. He's already got a hit. He can take 2 health. He is dead. And that then is the end of the second round. We can now start to try and complete some of our mission objectives. We have to use this security panel to, first of all, open the door to Valkyrie, but we only should open the door so long as there are no Nox leader inside the Stalker. We then also need to deactivate the magnetic clamps that are holding the Stalker in place. And the way we do this is we use a hacker. So of course this is where Jazz is going to shine. When Jazz does her hack, if she gets a shield and a switch, that will then open the security door. If we get an additional success on this dice roll, we would release Magnetic Clamp A. If we get an additional shield, we get to release Magnetic Clamp B. So can I suggest to the party that the first thing we want to do is to get Jazz up to the terminal to hack the device so that we can trigger everything before any enemy units are activated? Yes, you with me on that one? All right then. So Jazz can move 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. So she's going to do a hack. She's got an orange. She's got a yellow. She can use Pick Lock. You may add a yellow to your interact with a console roll. And you may re-roll 1 die from all your interact with console rolls. Let's roll the hack and see how we do. We want to get 2 shields, a switch and a success. Hey! All right, here we go then. Do we have a defense and a switch? We do. The security door opens and Valkyrie is now able to leave. We need to go and interact with her. She's free and able now. We have... Oh! Decisions. Oh, I don't know, it's okay. Because we've got the defense dice here. We don't have to use... Yeah, it's okay. Panic over. Yes, because it doesn't matter. It's not what's actually on the dice, it's the combination. So we're using... No, we still, no. Panic, engage again. Panic, engage. We only have 1 defense and we need 2 defense. So we can re-roll one of these dice. So we got to re-roll the orange to try and get that second defense. Oh, bad luck, bad luck. We've got 2 successes and a switch. No joy, no joy. Right then, so what's happened is shchink. We've unlocked the door. Shchink. We have unclamped magnetic lock A, but we have not been successful in unlocking B. We still have to unlock B. And that was Jazz's go complete. It's over to the enemy. Let's see what they are doing. And it is the Cadmus. The Cadmus are activating. So, the Cadmus, to bring back the entire unit, is going to cost 2 reinforcements. They are going to attack the person with lesser damage. So whoever is the healthiest. Oh goodness. In this instance, it is Jazz. Jazz has not taken any damage whatsoever. So they're going to rush on in and attack Jazz. Poor Jazz all on her own. And then they are going to attack her. So they have an automatic switch. Jazz just has a blue dice. That's it. So if they have 2 switches, that is a success. So they have 2 hits against Jazz. Jazz has a defense, so she is able to defend against one of them. Jazz does a hit against them, but they also have a defense, so it's 1 hit against Jazz. 2 switches means a hit. Hit against Jazz. Jazz has got 2 defense, not a problem. But there's no attack going back. So Jazz has actually been really lucky. She has survived this quick attack following her access of the computer console. Alright, next hero. What do you think? Do we get a hero to attack these Cadmus? Do we get a hero to activate the console to unlock the other clamp? Do we get a hero to go and activate Valkyrie? Somebody needs to get all the way to her area. It's quite a distance. In fact, that would be 2 movements. Evan, you say kill the Cadmus. You're not hanging about. Quan Go could go, and he's got the shotgun. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. He can stand where he is and just fire. That's probably a good idea, isn't it? What do you think? They've got health 4. Their defense is a blue dice. Quango's got 2 blue dice and an automatic success. So he has got 3 hits there. I could spend those 2 shields to get an extra hit if I wanted to, right? We'll put that on the side because it depends whether he's going to take any hits himself. And he does. So what do you think? Should he capitalize and have 4 hits to instantly take that guy out? But it means he will take 1 hit. But he could probably manage that, couldn't he? I think that's probably what he should do, shouldn't he, yeah? He should take the hit to take out the Cadmus in 1 go. Take a whirl, yeah, absolutely. So he's gone. Alright, we'll try it again. Let's see if he can be just as lucky. No, okay. So 3 hits. So that's not too bad on his part then. He did alright there. Okay, next activation. It is the Nox Leader. The Nox Leaders are back. They are going to rush up and attack the person with the most aggro. Well, the very first person that they can see with the most aggro is going to be Quan Gao. Okay, and then they are going to open fire. And they are using combi rifles with automatic success against our guys. 1 blue, 2 black. we have 2 hits blocked by 2 defense, but 1 hit is going through against, we'll say that guy there. Nox leader, yeah, your switches don't do anything. We can re-roll this one just in case. Yeah, nothing. So 1 hit is defended by 1 defense. 1 hit is defended by 1 defense. So nothing happened in that turn. It is now the turn of either Uma or Caden. Uma can run 6. Caden can run 6. Who do we want to run to go and get Valkyrie? Uma for Valkyrie. Okay then. That gets her all the way. We then go to the next activation. It is the Spec Ops. Spec Ops to activate require 2 enforcement tokens. I've only got 1, which means there's no activation. So it is back over to our turn. It is Caden's go. What does Caden want to do? Now Caden can't use the hack device, so he's totally ineffectual in that regard. All he can do is get on in and do some damage, I guess. Who's he going to attack? I think he should attack this guy, because potentially he could kill this guy as well. So Caden has orange and a yellow and an automatic hit. And he is up against the Nox leader. Oh gosh, that's 2 black. Oh, oh. Okay, so he has, well, here we go. This is the interesting thing. He has 2 hits. Those 2 hits would be defended by those 2. But instead, if he uses his success and his switch, inflict 1 damage to an adjacent enemy who was not the target. This was the target. He's not the target. So he would automatically take a point of damage as these blades are whirling around. And that being the case, he's dead. And that was his go. Round 4. It is over to the heroes. What shall we do? Once we activate Valkyrie, at some point we've got to forego one of our heroes to move Valkyrie in their stead. So there's a little bit of management now of who are we going to miss so that Valkyrie can move, because she's obviously the important one. What do you think, Evan? Who do you think we should sacrifice in this turn? Thinking the tank, I would say that makes a good call. Yes. Tank can take plenty of hits, so if he's just going to be stuck there in the middle, and he is in the middle, so that's actually probably a good idea. So shall we let Valkyrie move straight away? Shall we get her going? Or do we want to use Jazz to quickly unlock that last magnetic clamp? Unlock first. Alright, so Jazz is up to bat. She's got an orange and a yellow with an additional yellow for the hack. All we need is 1 shield. And there you go, a classic Monkeys with Fire roll. All we need is 1 shield and we get 3 blank dice. Thankfully, once per hacking roll, you may re-roll any die that was rolled blank, and we can also re-roll a yellow dice. So I can roll 2 dice. My goodness. All we need is 1 shield. And there you go. And this is why I'm just lousy at games. But we get the 1 shield. We have a release of the magnetic clamp. However,
attention! Shavasi operative type Guilio has been detected on its way to your zone. Do not fight it under any circumstances. Extract Valkyrie immediately.
So we do have the heavy hitting unit. This guy is huge. He is armed with a HMG. with lots and lots of dice. Now we are in trouble. We did Jazz. Jazz is unlocked. Jazz does actually have another action first though. So she could do some damage. She could move. What do we want to do? Do we want to get Jazz out of there? She can run 6. Jazz has done her job. Surely we need to get her to safety now. Move her out. All right. Let the others soak up the damage. Okay, over to the enemy. It is the Cadmus that activate. He's going to assault the person with the most damage. Most damage is Quang Gao here, so he's going to move towards him. And then he's going to attack him. 1 hit. 2 switches equals an automatic hit. So that's 2 hits. We've got 2 defense there. He can re-roll this one. Doesn't do anything. That being the case, no hit. It is over to us. Shall we move Valkyrie? That was the idea, wasn't it? Let's get Valkyrie out. And certainly we got this guy lumbering down the corridor at us now. Valkyrie is safely inside the dropship. We then look at the next activation, the Nox leader. He is going to assault the person who is closest to him and then attack the person who's closest to him. Closest person, of course, is Caden First Strike. He is using combi rifle, 2 yellow with an automatic success against Caden, who has got a blue and a black. Let's give these a roll. So that's 2 hits against Caden's 3 defense, which is quite impressive. So no joy there. Gonna try it again. 2 switches equals an additional hit. So that's now 3 hits against 1 defense. That's Caden takes 2 damage, but the Nox leader takes 1 hit off Caden as he's flailing around with his rippers. All right. Now we've moved Jazz, we've moved Valkyrie. We could move Uma. Uma's quite effective, isn't she? Who do we want to do? Do we want to use Uma or Caden? Uma needs to catch up, I agree. So Uma moves 6 and then lay down fire against the Cadmus there. She only needs to get 1 hit. So Uma is using orange and blue plus a yellow up against the Cadmus blue. We'll keep the blue separate. Okay, so she does 2 hits against the Cadmus. The Cadmus does 1 hit against Uma, but Uma's got a defense, so the Cadmus is dead. Spec Ops. So they are going to attack the closest person. So they're going to move on in. 1, 2, 1, 2. And they're just going to let rip. 2 yellow and an automatic success. And up against Caden's pitiful defense of a blue and a black. So they have 2 hits. And thankfully we've got 2 defense. I've got 1 hit going back at them, but they've got 2 defense. So nothing happens there. Next hit. They've got 1 hit. I've got 2 defense, so I'm okay. But I've got 1 hit going back with no defense. And so finally, Caden is the last person to have a go. So he's doing an orange and a yellow. And he has an automatic hit. And the Nox leader, oh hang on, the Nox leader's got 2 black dice. Caden has, so that defense nullifies that. So he's got an attack, a switch and a shield. So he can still do the damage, so he can still kill him. So he is dead. That's the Nox leader out. He can now do a second attack. He's going to attack this guy, which is the Spec Ops. Spec Ops is using a black and a yellow. We'll have to roll these first. That's a bit better. Against these two. Oh. Alright. So he has got 2 hits with no defense. And they're attacking with 1 hit against 2 defense. That's good. So he has killed this guy's. We go to level 5, round 5, sorry. Alright, here we go. Who should we move first? We just need to get our guys into the ship now. We kind of don't want to kill anybody, because hopefully the unit that activates is too far away to do anything. Let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Caden's there. Alright, he is done. So let's see who gets activated. It's the Nock Special Ops. He's going to attack the person with the most aggro. Well, it's either Caden or Uma. His corner can reach her corner, so he can attack Uma. So he will do that. He gets 2 hits. Uma has 2 defense. Uma's fine. Second attack. He has 1 hit. Uma has 1 defense, so she's fine, but she does 1 hit of damage against him. We go back to the heroes. I think we should let Uma get out now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, she's confidently over there. Next card. It is the Gwilios, the big dude. He is going to attack the person closest to, well, move towards the person who's closest to him. He moves at 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, he's right in the center here. Closest person is the tank, so it's good job that we left him there. He is rolling 2 orange and a blue and has an automatic switch. And for every 2 switches, he gets an additional hit. Now, interestingly, so here we go. His range, he's got to be a minimum of 3. So 1, 2, 3. So he is fine. He's in range. 1, 2, 3. Yep, that's all good. All right. Up against the tank, who has 2 black and a blue. We will roll the attack first. Well, that was the lousiest heavy weapon assault I've ever seen. So that is 1 hit. Can the tank absorb the attack? It can, it can. 1 shield, that's fine. 1 hit back over, but he's got 2 shields, all good. So you're no good. That's their turn done. We then get Jazz into the dropship. 1, 2, 3, 4, there she is. We then activate the next unit. But I think we don't need to worry, because the next unit is the Cadmus. The Cadmus do not have any points to basically come back on out, so we are safe. And so we can now move Kwai Gao. He can go 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have everybody in the dropship. The Stalker maneuvers quickly away from the facility. You feel the tension in your shoulders letting go, until a familiar face reappears in your visors. Servio never brings good news. The Kickstarter is still live, with just a couple of days left, so if you have not already put forward your pledge, then do check out the Kickstarter. I don't think you will be disappointed whatsoever. Right then, Evan. Well, it's been a real pleasure to see you back again. glad that you could drop on by and take a look. But until next time, bye for now.